The club was amazing. The sound system, all was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the first guest in indie dance. So the people didn't know nothing about this music. And when I start, I've seen the people change. It was like,
What is this?
What is this? Every people came. What is it? What is it? There was like kangaroos in the court. I've never seen that. There was an energy. It was like when I discovered electronic music in the 90s. It was the same.
It was new what you brought.
Yeah, and it's really exceptional to feel this.
Wow. Hi there, welcome everybody to Behind the Decks with Sus and So, powered by Mixmag Mexico. Today we have Damon Jee here on the red couch with us. Welcome, Damon.
Hey, hi everybody.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much to you.
We're really, really happy to have you here at Dansu, Guadalajara, Providencia. And yeah, we're gonna have a great interview with you, so.
Actually, Damon, I would be very, very happy to listen to you and to understand where is it that you come from. How did you grow up? How did you get into the music scene? How did you start to make electronic music?
Well, so I come from France. I live in the Basque Country, the French part of Basque Country, and I grew up in Basque Country. So I started music around in 1995. I started with a rock band at school. It was my first love, the rock.
Yeah.
And I discovered really quickly electronic music in club in Spain, because Basque Country, there is a part in France and a part in Spain. So every young people in this in the 90s is going to Spain for.
What was the city that you'd love to go?
We used to go to San Sebastian, Bilbao.
I love San Sebastian. So cool.
Yeah, for the food.
Yeah,
it's,
so
yeah,
beautiful.
It's so amazing for the food.
Like what was your favorite food in San Sebastian? I have mine, but
I love the tapas, the pulpo gallego.
yes.
Pulpo a la Galician.
Galician.
So good.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's so amazing.
You can curse, it's okay.
Okay.
Perfect. So yes, and so you started going to the electronic music scene in Spain. Actually, you being French, you start going to the electronic music scene in France.
Yes.
And then you start playing with a band in high school with your friends.
Yeah.
And how these two worlds start to collide.
And I've been for the first time in a party, and it was like, imagine it was 95.
Yeah.
It was really new. It was the beginning of electronic music. So it was not, there was not everywhere music electronic. So when I arrived in club and I discovered, it was like, wow, what is this new music?
Uh-huh.
And directly as I said, I want to do that. So I write some decks and a mixer, and I start like that. And I stopped directly rock, but because I played guitar in a band, but I was not really good. So why not change? It was more easy to do.
Yeah. And how old were you then exactly when you made that switch?
Around 17.
17. So yeah,
Yes.
you started also young. Wow.
So yeah, I started to buy some records, and
You were doing vinyl.
yes, there was not.
95.
Yeah, there was not MP3 or something. It was only vinyl. So I started with vinyl.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And around 2000, I created a record shop. So I started a record shop in my hometown.
Oh, cool.
And in the same time, the first techno club opened in Spain, in Basque Country, because all the other clubs was trance club.
Okay.
Right.
And the owner of the club contacted me, and I started to be resident in the club.
Wow.
So I had the record shop and the residency in the club every weekend.
That's so cool.
And it was 6 years really amazing. I meet all the main DJs who, imagine in 2000 there was not known. You know? For example, the first year of the residency we had Elena Alien.
Okay. Yes.
and artists like that, and then in my career, Ichiro team,
Yeah.
and it was not like
Wow. Yeah.
And then they became basically the inspiration for everything that you've been doing, up to that point, no? Like, I'm thinking maybe their rock part of your younger years, and then starting to meet these new artists at that time
Yeah,
that will become the people that will,
yeah. This came later because I start to mix techno and minimal and electro, and start producing alone first. And after that, I meet an artist who now is a really good friend of mine, Oliver Giacomoto, and we start to produce together. I learned really a lot with him because you can imagine in the years 2000 there was not tutorial, there was not
No, yeah.
it was not
There was no YouTube to check
was just
everything out.
experimentation.
Yeah.
when you wanted to learn, you must buy some magazine, or there was not
Or
other
learn
option.
from someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I start alone in my home, and it was like a fight every day because how I can make this, how can I have the the response to my question.
Right.
So I buy a lot of magazine to learn. And when I meet Oliver, Oliver studied in a studio in London. So he learned all the techniques and all.
Yeah.
So when I start to produce with him, I've learned all the question I had. All was more
He
clear.
already had the answer
Yeah.
for everything.
He had all the answer I need. So we start to make tracks together, and the first EP came in 2006. It was like a really blast record, and all the three other production who came after, we create like a style like called electro house.
Yeah.
But it was
At the beginning.
yeah, at the beginning we create the style with some other producer, and it was a mix of Oliver and my influence. But at the end, after 3 years, I was not really satisfied because it was not really what I play in party.
Right.
So I said to Oliver, I stopped to make music. I stopped to produce this kind of music, and I'm going home to produce myself at home and try to find my own way. And it's to this moment I make like an introspection in myself, and oh, I came from rock. I was young in the 80s, and it's to this time I understand my real influence.
Right.
So I came back to with the rock, with the new wave. And
So now everything is really integrating. Is that what you're saying?
No, yes.
And that's like 2007, 2006, right?
This was around 2008, 2009.
Okay,
Right.
2008, 2000.
And I have worked in studio. I've stopped to, because when I produced with Oliver, I started to play everywhere in the world, but I was not satisfied with the song. So I stopped to play. I returned in the studio, and it takes like 3 or 4 years to create something new, to create my own music.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, it's basically a 10-year journey into finding exactly what you want to sound like.
And there is an artist who really helped me, not helped me himself, but who influenced me.
Yeah.
It was Andrew Whitwell, whatever.
Okay.
And when I discovered Andrew, it was like, okay, there is in his music the part of the things I want from my music.
Right. Yeah.
So it was the first point of the evolution.
Okay, so basically this is your starting point, and from that 2009 all up until now, how do you think your music has developed? Because I mean, right now you're even like sounding, I would say you're going a little bit away from from that heavy rock, and you're going more into something that we're calling in Mexico and in different parts of the world, that dark disco.
The genre dark disco.
So,
Yeah. What is your take on that?
On dark disco.
Yeah, on dark disco and how you grew into that genre. Or do people say, this is dark disco, and you're like, I'm just making what I love, you know what I mean?
That's it. I just didn't think about a name or something. I just create.
Yeah.
I've experimented so much thing with mixed rock and electro. I was fan of international DJ Gigolo, DJL, Vitalik, Drucker, Miss Keating, and there are a part of influence of dark disco as well.
Uh-huh.
So it was a long way to mix all this influence to find my own sound, my own synthesizer, who I can
like experiment and grow and make the best out of this sound.
Yeah.
It's very characteristic of it.
All the good synthesizer for mix with the guitar or singer or
Okay, so I mean, now we're talking about maybe like a genre that is being created and then it's being named, right? Because I mean,
people always want to give something a name.
For the story, I heard the first time dark disco. I was in Turkey.
Okay.
I played in Turkey, and I was in a dinner with the promoter and the DJ, and the DJ told me, "Oh, you are the king of the dark disco." It was the first time I heard the name,
the term, right?
The term.
Yeah.
So at this moment, I didn't say anything special.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I like the word dark disco. It's fine. And it was like 4 months after that. I was reading a magazine, a French magazine called Tracks magazine in France, and there was a review on dark disco, and the journalist explained the dark disco. The name was created in Turkey.
Okay.
By the indie rock electro scene in Turkey, and they created this name. It became famous like this. But
and you wouldn't think that it's like from Turkey, you know?
Yeah, me too. It was really surprise for me.
You were playing where in Turkey?
Ankara.
Yeah. Wow.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So cool. I've never been to the city, but I feel like
it sounds so like I want to go now.
Yeah,
right?
I really like Turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it should be like a collision of worlds there.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
That's so great.
It's not possible to describe when you are. Turkey is a country with the border with a country with war. So there is like something exciting that the people, they have war to their doors, and they have European to the other side, and there is like a mixing of. There is a special energy. They are quickly crazy with the music.
Yeah. And have you you've been touring a lot, of course. Have you experienced something like that in other cities as well? A vibe that you're like, ooh, this is special.
Yes. I have a really amazing example. It was in Sydney when I played the first time in Australia.
Oh wow!
And I was one of the first dark disco artists who played in this club. So the people, it was a tech house club. The club was amazing. The sound system, all was perfect. And I was the first guest in Indie Dance. So the people didn't know nothing about this music. And when I I've seen the people change. It was like,
what is this?
What is this? Every people came. What is it? What is it? There was like kangaroos in the coin. I've never seen that. There was an energy. It was like when I discovered electronic music in the 90s. It was the same.
It was new what you brought.
Yeah. And it's really exceptional to feel this.
Wow.
I feel like the Australia and these places are a little bit like remote, or I would say like not so connected.
It's hard to play in Australia, right? You need like all kinds of visas and difficult paperwork. It's really hard to go to Australia. Right.
But I feel like the people over there have their own sense of what they like, you know? Like I feel like in I would say in people that are more, or sorry, like Latin America, for example, you have an idea of what is played in Latin America, right? Or if
Yeah.
you go to Europe, you kind of know like the pathways where the party can lead, you know. And Australia is its own thing, I think.
Yeah, we know pretty little about the Australian scene, actually. There's a lot of tech
Australian
house.
scene was really deep house and tech house.
Deep house, tech
But
house, yes.
since I've played, I've seen.
The development.
Yeah.
Ah, that is great.
A lot of big artists now go to Australia. Yeah.
Now, you were telling us a little bit off the record, but you've developed a new label.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it's really new. It's
What's the name of the label?
Dust and Blood.
Yeah.
I started the label during the pandemic,
Wow.
and I started because it felt for me it was the moment to how to explain yeah to help some friends, for example, or some new artists I discover, and I feel well this is I would like
This is
to
class.
I would like to push,
Yeah.
and it was the time for me. I had enough connection in the music industry to develop something interesting.
Right.
To my level, I can't say the level is really big, and I don't care if it's big or not. I just want to 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 produce artists I like and music I like.
That is so nice. And did you feel like the pandemic influenced that decision? Like the whole thing, the close down situation?
No. It doesn't. No. I wanted to do it before.
Ah, okay.
I did it before because I had another level before.
Okay.
But this one was more personal. I'm really alone to manage this level. So
To make your own decisions
Yeah.
and decide. Yeah.
That's amazing. And how many artists do you have? Are they all from France, or are they from different parts of the world?
Yeah, they are from everywhere.
That's so amazing. I feel like this multiculturality.
We have some Swedish, we have some French, of course, Spanish, and Mexican, because there is
So many, yeah.
remix on the level.
Right. Oh,
So,
that's amazing.
So many Mexicans making the
Yeah,
genre.
and maybe more in the future.
Yeah, it's a big thing here. So you are going to be playing at Lucy Boom.
Yes, it's the first time.
Are you excited? What are you expecting to experience here at Lucy? Because you've been in Guadalajara before.
Yeah, I've played in Barramicas and Casa Cobra.
Yeah.
And I don't know the club. I know I have a really good feeling with the promoter because I met him in Tulum last year.
Mm-hmm.
No, not in Tulum, in Oaxaca last year.
And
Oaxaca, okay.
And
so nice Oaxaca.
And
where in Oaxaca?
I played for Dia de los Muertos.
Oh, okay.
In Oaxaca, so cool.
In a party called Set on the Ground.
Okay.
It was a bit far from the city, but it was wow. It was so amazing.
So cool.
Do you think that this type of places have like a spiritual vibe into them, and especially playing in a very characteristic day for us, you know, a holiday for Mexicans that we really celebrate?
But it was a dream for me because I know from Europe, you know, so much Dia de los Muertos.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an institution, from Mexican institution.
Yeah.
So played in Oaxaca, who is I think, I don't know if it's true, but the center of the ceremonial of the
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like you have Michoacan, which is like where it started and where it's more famous. But I feel like Oaxaca has this special vibe. I literally just came back from playing over there, and it's sort of a crazy vibe because you have people from all over the world, first of all, but then you have all those people from all over the world doing things that the natives do, you know, and they are embracing this, I would say, ceremonial part of Mexico, which is like really, really deep in the native people, and I feel like that makes everything a lot richer, you know.
Yeah.
And it's so deep for us, like you were saying, you know, the situation with the Dia de los Muertos is that we just celebrate life through that.
Yeah.
it's a crazy concept in itself.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful
It's
concept,
so
I think.
beautiful.
Yeah, and I feel like when you go with the type of music that you create, I mean, that sets a whole different vibe to everything, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like that should have been that was an explosion.
Yeah, I can say it was really amazing.
So you have very good experiences with playing in Mexico.
Yes, I came from Mexico. I think the first gig I came, it was in 2009 or 2008. And since I came not every year because between 2008 and 2015 I've not been in Mexico, but since 6-7 years I came really often, and since 2 years really more and more. I came all the 3 or 4 months. I'm going in Mexico.
Fantastic.
And I feel like this is a very, very interesting experience because, I mean, you played in the, Bar Americas, which is basically the household name for electronic music in Mexico. And now you're playing at a completely new venue, which is like, surely it's going to be so exciting for you as well.
Yes, I like discover some new clubs and some new city. Last time I played in Querétaro, it was the first time. In San Luis Potosí, it was the first time.
Wow.
I like discovering new city. I know so much now. Mexico, Guadalajara, Monterrey. Okay, I know. But I'm coming often, so I like to discover new clubs, new city, new people, and that's what's happened.
That is so exciting. I feel like in Mexico, especially, well, I feel like in a lot of countries within Latin America, you have the flavor of the city, and in Mexico specifically, I feel like electronic music used to be reserved for, maybe Guadalajara, maybe Mexico City, maybe Tulum, Cancun, Oaxaca, places like that are a little bit more touristic, and then you go deep into, the core of Mexico, San Luis Potosí, maybe Zacatecas, Aguascalientes.
I've been
the province.
to Culiacan as well.
Yes.
Wow.
So and it was
Also a scene
it was
over there.
really nice. I really like.
Yeah.
And with the beach over there,
Yeah.
it's really, I feel like it's its own experience.